Shanghai's main streets dazzle with luxury and tech, a showcase of China's rapid modernization and growing affluence. Shoppers stroll past flagship stores, neon lights flicker, and the city's energy seems boundless. But just a few steps away, in the quieter alleys and side streets, a different story quietly unfolds, one that rarely makes the headlines. The humble pawn shop, marked by the character Dang, is making a quiet comeback. These shops, once seen as relics of a bygone era, are re-emerging as vital financial lifelines. Once dismissed as places of last resort, pawn shops are now lifelines for families facing new economic pressures, job losses, medical bills, or sudden business downturns. The resurgence isn't flashy or headline-grabbing. It's a subtle shift, one transaction at a time. Each item pawned tells a story: a wedding ring, a family heirloom, a prized smartphone. For many, pawn shops offer quick cash without the stigma of borrowing from relatives or the hurdles of bank loans. There's no need for lengthy applications or collateral beyond what you bring in. In a country that's lifted millions from poverty, their return highlights the fragility beneath China's economic miracle. The gap between rich and poor is still visible, and even the middle class can find themselves in need of short-term help. Even those with stable jobs feel the squeeze as living costs soar and safety nets fray. Rising rents, healthcare costs, and education fees push many to seek alternative solutions. These shops aren't just about poverty. They're about managing anxiety in a rapidly changing society. For some, pawning is a way to bridge a gap, to buy time, or to avoid more drastic measures. And often, it's women who quietly step up, using these old institutions to keep their families afloat. They pawn jewelry, watches, or even electronics, making tough choices to protect their loved ones. Their choices reveal a hidden resilience, a strategic response to modern challenges. In the face of uncertainty, they adapt, finding strength in tradition and resourcefulness. The pawn shop's revival is a deeply human story of adaptation and survival, one that plays out quietly in the shadows of China's glittering cities as families navigate the uncertainties of a new era. Pawn shops, or dangpu, have been woven into the fabric of Chinese society for centuries, dating back as far as the Tang and Song dynasties. These institutions were more than just places to exchange goods for cash. They were lifelines for ordinary people, offering a crucial source of short-term credit in times of need. In Imperial China, pawn shops served everyone from struggling peasants pawning their tools to merchants leveraging inventory for business expansion. They were often family-run, trusted pillars of local communities, and sometimes even operated by Buddhist temples or charitable organizations to help the poor. But after 1949, with the rise of the People's Republic, pawn shops were swept away as symbols of old capitalism and inequality. For decades, their doors remained shut, their role in society nearly forgotten. It wasn't until the economic reforms of the 1980s that pawn shops quietly re-emerged, adapting to a rapidly changing China. Today, their clientele is more diverse than ever. Young entrepreneurs seeking quick capital, couples saving for a first home, office workers managing unexpected expenses, and families navigating the pressures of modern urban life. No longer just a last resort for the desperate, pawn shops have become a strategic financial tool. Customers now leverage luxury watches, designer handbags, or even the latest smartphones to discreetly manage cash flow, bridging gaps between paychecks or funding new ventures. The modern pawn shop is a fascinating blend of old and new. Traditional Chinese decor sits alongside cutting-edge electronics and luxury goods, reflecting both China's rich heritage and its dynamic present. While the items on the counter have changed, the underlying need for quick, accessible credit remains as urgent as ever, especially in a society where financial systems can still be rigid or slow to respond. When banks are too slow, inflexible, or require extensive paperwork, pawn shops step in as a flexible safety valve, offering immediate solutions for those in need. Their endurance through centuries of upheaval and reform is a testament to their ability to evolve with society, adapting to new economic realities and the needs of each generation. In today's China, pawn shops stand as both relics of a storied past and vital necessities for the present, bridging eras and helping millions navigate the uncertainties of modern life. The surge in pawn shop visits is a direct response to the mounting economic pressures squeezing Chinese families from all sides. As the cost of living rises and wages stagnate, more households are finding themselves caught in a financial bind. The old promise, work hard, life improves, now feels uncertain. Economic growth is slowing, property values are stagnating, and the once booming real estate market is leaving many with unsold or devalued apartments. For families who invested their savings in property, this means their financial safety net is suddenly much thinner. Education and healthcare costs continue to soar. Parents face mounting pressure to pay for after-school tutoring, which is seen as essential for their children's future. Medical bills can wipe out years of savings in an instant, and even basic care is becoming less affordable. Meanwhile, job security is elusive, even for the overworked 996 crowd who put in grueling hours with little guarantee of stability. Traditional family safety nets are under strain. Asking relatives for help risks not only shame and gossip, but also exposes the family's vulnerability to the wider community. With multiple generations often living under one roof, financial stress can quickly lead to tension and conflict. Many prefer to keep up appearances, turning to pawn shops for discreet, fast solutions. It's a way to avoid public embarrassment while still getting the cash they urgently need. Here, loans are based on assets, gold, electronics, luxury goods, not credit scores or social ties. This system is especially valuable for those who may not qualify for traditional bank loans or who want to avoid leaving a paper trail. For families facing sudden expenses, tutoring fees, car repairs, medical emergencies, the pawn shop is a practical private fix. It offers a lifeline when other options are closed off. Transactions are quick and require minimal paperwork, with no need to explain your situation or justify your need. This anonymity preserves dignity and social standing, allowing families to weather tough times without public scrutiny. In today's China, the pawn shop has become a quiet, essential answer to the new economic squeeze, offering privacy, speed, and a measure of hope for families under pressure. In the revival of pawn shops, women are the unsung financial managers, quietly steering their families through economic storms, often without recognition or thanks. Traditionally, men brought home the income, but it was women who stretched every yuan, balancing the household budget with creativity and discipline. From clipping coupons to negotiating with creditors, their resourcefulness keeps families afloat. When money runs short, it's often women who quietly bridge the gap, sometimes skipping their own needs, sometimes taking on extra work, always shielding their families from stress. Their sacrifices are rarely spoken of, but deeply felt. Visiting a pawn shop is a discreet, pragmatic choice, sometimes pawning personal jewelry or family heirlooms to avoid conflict or embarrassment. For many, it's a last resort, chosen to protect loved ones from worry. This is not submission, but agency. Women using every resource at their disposal to solve problems behind the scenes. Their decisions are calculated, their actions deliberate, and their strength often underestimated. Their invisible labor is essential, yet rarely acknowledged. Whether managing the household, supporting relatives, or helping neighbors, women's financial resilience ripples through entire communities. Each visit to the pawn shop tells a story of love, sacrifice, and determination. Women's decisions here reveal both the emotional and practical burdens they carry, and the quiet strength that keeps their families together. Meet Lin, a devoted mother living in the heart of a bustling Chinese city. Every evening, she sits beside her son as he studies, quietly dreaming of a brighter future for him. one she hopes will be built on the foundation of a good education. But when her husband's overtime pay was suddenly cut, their carefully balanced budget unraveled. The cost of tutoring, essential for their son to keep up in school, became an impossible burden, and the weight of mounting bills pressed down on the family. Lynn struggled in silence, unwilling to add to her husband's stress or ask her aging parents for help. She spent sleepless nights searching for a solution, torn between pride and desperation. Finally, Lynn made a heart-wrenching decision. She would pawn her most treasured possession, a gold bracelet her mother had given her on her wedding day, a symbol of love and family legacy. The act was painful, a sacrifice that felt like letting go of a piece of her own history. Yet, Lynn's resolve was clear. Her son's future had to come first, no matter the personal cost. At the pawn shop, Lynn was surprised by the respectful and efficient process. The staff understood the emotional weight behind her decision, treating her with quiet dignity. Lynn walked out with cash in one hand and a pawn ticket in the other, her heart heavy with loss but also buoyed by relief. She had done what was necessary to keep her son's dreams alive. That evening, as her family gathered for a simple meal, Lynn smiled at her son, knowing she had protected their stability. The sacrifice was invisible to him, but its impact was profound. The bracelet was gone for now, its absence a silent reminder of her love. But her son's education continued, and with it, the hope for a better future. Lynn's quiet sacrifices echoed in countless households across China, where parents give up cherished possessions to secure their children's futures, acts of love that often go unseen, but shape the next generation. Modern Chinese pawn shops have shed the shadowy back alley image of the past. Today, they are designed with a focus on discretion and respect, offering a safe haven for those in need of quick financial solutions. Sleek and private, these spaces resemble banks or high-end jewelers. Every detail, from the lighting to the layout, is crafted to protect customers' dignity and ensure their comfort. Individual rooms and high-walled counters guarantee privacy. There are no public lines, no curious onlookers, just a quiet, confidential environment where personal matters stay personal. Staff are highly trained to be professional and non-judgmental, focusing solely on the value of the item, not the circumstances of the customer. Their respectful approach helps ease any embarrassment or anxiety. Transactions are swift and efficient. An appraisal, a loan offer, a contract, and cash in hand, all within minutes. The process is streamlined to minimize stress and maximize convenience. Each pawn ticket clearly outlines the terms, while items are stored in secure, monitored vaults until they're redeemed. Customers can trust that their valuables are safe and accounted for. If the loan is repaid, the item is returned promptly and in perfect condition. If not, it's respectfully sold, never with shame, always as part of a transparent process. This clear, business-like process gives customers a sense of control and reassurance, turning what could be a stressful moment into a manageable, even empowering experience. For many, especially women and older clients, the dignity and agency provided by this environment matter as much as the money itself. The experience is designed to uplift, not diminish. In this way, the modern pawn shop transforms a moment of financial need into a private, empowered choice, restoring not just wallets, but self-respect. Pawning a cherished item is never just a financial decision. It's an emotional sacrifice, a quiet moment of heartbreak that often goes unseen by the world. For many, the act is filled with hesitation and silent tears, as memories are weighed against urgent needs. Jewelry and heirlooms often carry deep personal meaning. Gifts from parents, wedding keepsakes, or tokens of past celebrations. Letting go, even temporarily, is bittersweet. It's not just about the object, but the stories and love it represents. The pawn ticket becomes a daily reminder of both hope and anxiety, a fragile promise that what's lost might one day be reclaimed. Each glance at the ticket stirs memories and uncertainty as families wonder if they'll ever hold their treasures again. High interest rates mean the risk of losing the item is real if circumstances don't improve. For some, the pressure mounts with each passing month as the cost to reclaim their memories grows heavier. The loss is not just financial, but deeply personal. A piece of family history gone, a story left untold. Sometimes, the absence is felt most in quiet moments, when a child asks about a missing necklace or an old photograph brings back memories of what once was. Women often bear this burden alone, quietly protecting their loved ones from worry. They shoulder the emotional weight, making sacrifices in silence so that others might not have to. The pawnshop's efficiency can't erase the hidden emotional cost. Behind every transaction is a story of love, loss, and hope. A reminder that the true price of pawning memories is often paid in silence. The rise of pawnshops shines a spotlight on the often invisible labor of women, work that is woven into the fabric of daily life, yet rarely acknowledged. Through quiet acts of resilience, soothing a child, preparing meals, and maintaining a sense of normalcy, women hold families together, even as financial pressures mount. Their sacrifices go unmeasured in statistics and uncelebrated in headlines, but they are vital. Women are the first to notice when money runs short, the first to cut back on their own needs, and the first to seek solutions, often in silence. They identify problems, weigh risks, and act decisively, all while shielding their loved ones from the full weight of uncertainty and stress. Pawning personal treasures, family heirlooms, wedding jewelry, cherished gifts, is a strategic move, turning sentiment into survival. It's a decision made with both heart and calculation, balancing emotional loss against practical necessity. This challenges the outdated notion that women are merely dependents. In reality, they are key economic actors, making tough choices to keep households afloat. Their resilience is active, resourceful, and often unrecognized. Women juggle budgets, negotiate with creditors, and stretch every yuan, all while managing the emotional well-being of their families. The growing presence of women in pawnshops is a testament to their hidden strength and adaptability. They navigate complex financial systems, advocate for their families, and support one another in quiet solidarity. In uncertain times, it's these quiet, persistent efforts, often unseen and unthanked, that keep families afloat and hope alive. The pawnshop is more than just a relic of the past. It's a living window into the real China, offering a perspective that goes far beyond headlines and official statistics. Here, the pulse of society is felt in every transaction. Pawnshops reveal the daily struggles, hopes, and strategies of ordinary families as they navigate an economy marked by both rapid growth and deep uncertainty. For many, these shops are a last resort, but also a crucial safety net in times of need. The resurgence of pawnshops signals cracks beneath the surface of China's prosperity. It exposes the hidden anxieties of a society where job security is fragile, the cost of living is rising, and traditional support systems are under strain. The stories found here, especially those of women, are about more than hardship. They speak to agency, sacrifice, and resilience, as women often shoulder the burden of keeping families afloat, making difficult choices in the face of adversity. Each pawn ticket is more than a simple loan slip. It's a record of love, pragmatism, and survival. It marks a moment when someone chose to part with something precious, hoping for a better tomorrow. To truly understand modern China, we must look to these quiet corners, places where the realities of economic transformation are lived, not just theorized. Here, the effects of policy shifts, market volatility, and social change are felt most acutely. In these spaces, women's invisible labor sustains families through hardship, revealing the gendered dimensions of economic stress and the quiet strength that underpins so many households. Ultimately, the pawn shop is not just a business. It's a microcosm of China's evolving society. It stands as a testament to the strength, adaptability, and enduring spirit of everyday people, reflecting both the challenges and the resilience that define modern China.